Hello out there in Cyberland. My name is Laura and I'm going to do a short tutorial on making your own corset. Give you a little history. I like to wear corsets. I found, among other things, a good tight-fitting corset is great for the back. But living down here in Memphis, you just don't find good corsets on the rack. So I decided to try to order some corsets online. Some of the problems I ran into were, for starters, most corsets do not come with good metal boning. They come with flexi boning. It does not hold up to anybody's rib cage. If you want a good corset, you want some good metal boning like this, it bounces back into shape. So when you wear it, when it folds up against your rib cage, it won't stay in that shape and then get all it's just ugly. You don't want to see. Another problem I ran into was the cups were really made for an A or possibly a B cup at the most. Being a D cup, they did not fit. So I was spending my time buying corsets, sending them back, and getting partial repayments because they were keeping the shipping charges. So I'm out a lot of money and still no corset to show for it. So out of desperation, I decided to make one. I looked around a bit and finally found one corset pattern. Now in other parts of the country, you might find a better selection. What I found was New Look by brand number 6242. If you can't see that on the screen, write it down. New Look 6242, so you know what to ask for when you go to your local sewing center. You should be able to find it any place that sells patterns. Picking your material is very important. Also, you want a good strong material that's not going to tear when you pull the corset tight. Linen is an excellent choice. It is the strongest wearable natural fiber. The only thing stronger than that is going to be burlap, and you don't want to wear burlap. Putting it together, when I got my panels cut out and got ready to sew them together, I put in my main seam and then went back and double zigzagged each seam to keep it from continuing to fray and therefore eventually falling apart. For my lining, to reinforce my seams, I used 3/4 inch wide 12 bias tape. I sewed it up one side and down the other and left the ends open over each seam on my lining. It not only reinforced the seam, but it also doubles as a holder for the boning. For the overlay, I just folded the bias tape over each seam and stitched it down. You don't need to put your boning in your overlay anyway because you don't want people seeing it. After getting it together, I needed something in the bodice to support my breasts. Now, they have these at Hancock Fabrics. I'm sure any other sewing center. They are foam bra cups. This is supposed to be a D cup, but it was not holding me up, so it had to go. What I eventually wound up doing was I took an old push-up bra, cut the straps and the band off, and hand sewed it into the bodice of my corset. Took me about 15 minutes with a needle and thread. And be sure to get double strong thread. You don't want your thread breaking. And get polyester cotton thread. You know, there's a limit to how long each piece is going to be, so it'll have weak spots in it. Polyester, they can go for miles and miles and miles and make one long strand without any kind of breakage. So you want to stick to polyester thread, extra strong. Getting it together, it unfortunately did not come with a pattern for a modesty panel, so I just cut one out myself, double stitched it on the back. For the back edging here, I wanted something to keep the material from bunching up when I pull the corset tight. So I found this at Home Depot. It is plastic siding edging. It is very soft and pliable. You can cut it with scissors. You can cut it with tin snips, whatever you want. It's fairly easy to cut. You can cut it whatever size and length you want, as you see. Now be sure when you put it in to double insulate your edging here so you don't have a piece of plastic lying against your bare back. For the eyelets, you need a pair of grommet pliers and a grommet. This is a set of grommet pliers. If you're not familiar with them, this is a grommet. You can get them at any sewing center. You put the grommet in the holder on the material, on the pliers, and put the piece of material between the top and the bottom part of the plier. Put it together and squeeze. The pliers, the pressure is going to cause the grommet to, first of all, push into the material and then cause the edges to curl down, holding onto the material, like so. Now you need to do both sides, but one at a time. For the lacing, I just got some very narrow basic rope lacing. It works just fine. It stays taut. You can use whatever you prefer, whether it's rope like this or something fancier, a ribbon, whatever you prefer. I got 6 yards. So anyway, I got all put together. It's wearable. It looks fairly decent. It cost me about $45, and I put probably 8 to 10 hours of work into it. Now, of course, this is underwear, so nobody but you, me, and my husband are going to be seeing this. When you get ready to make your corset, I hope it looks better than this. I'm sure it will. So for now, that's all for now. Happy corseting, and thank you for your time, and have a lovely day.